Welcome to Raj Online Trainings. In the series of full stack Java projects, we are in project 2, that is employee management system. In the previous video, we have seen the overview, like what we are going to do in this employee management system. And this project is developed using Spring Boot and Angular. The front end part is done with Angular and the back end is with Spring Boot. And we are going to make use of MySQL database. So as an overview of the previous video, we have seen the execution of our project. So here we should able to add the employee. Like we can provide the employee name, the designation, and salary. And once we click on the save employee, the record will get inserted. And we should able to update the employee. Like example, if I want to modify the salary, we can update the salary. See here the salary has been updated. And we can able to delete the particular employee. When you click on this button delete, that particular employee will get deleted. And the technologies what we are going to use in this project is to develop this employee management system full stack Java project. The database what we are going to use is MySQL server database 8 version, and the backend related to Java technology we make use of Spring Boot, Spring REST to create REST APIs, Spring.jpa, and Hibernate. And the tools what we are going to use is Project Lombok tool, and we make use of Postman to test the REST APIs. And the front end part we are going to make use of Bootstrap and Angular framework. And IDEs, the IDEs what we are going to use for this project is we are going to make use of Spring Toolsuite. So in order to download Spring Toolsuite, you can make use of this URL spring.io tools. And we are going to make use of Visual Studio Code for the front end part. To go with this Angular framework, we make use of Visual Studio Code, VS Code. To download, we can make use of this URL https://code.visualstudio.com download. Now in our project, to develop Spring Boot applications, we are going to make use of the IDE, Spring Toolsuite IDE, shortcut we call STS. So today in this video, let us see how to download this Spring Toolsuite, and let us see how to create a Spring Boot project using Spring Toolsuite. So that is a part in this video. So to download, open search engine like Google. To download Spring Toolsuite, open search engine like Google, and you can search here for STS download. STS download. The first link what we are getting here, spring.io tools, open this link, and here you can find Spring Toolsuite for Eclipse. Here you can find what? Spring Toolsuite for Eclipse IDE. It's a plugin added to Eclipse, and you can download it for Linux, Mac, Windows like this. So in my case, it is Windows. I'm downloading for Windows. Just if you click on this Windows, it's going to download the executable jar file. It's going to download this zip file. See here, Spring Toolsuite. So it's downloading. It's taking some small time to download. So once this zip file is downloaded, we have to extract this zip file. So it's going to take a small time. So we can even create Spring Boot project using spring.io also. The Spring Initializer, by using Spring Initializer also we can create Spring Boot projects, or we can make use of the Spring Toolsuite to create Spring Boot projects. It's very easy to create Spring Boot projects using Spring Toolsuite IDE. So it is recommended to use Spring Toolsuite STS IDE to develop Spring Boot projects. So it's downloading. It is going to take some small time to download this. So creating projects using Spring Toolsuite, like adding the dependencies, creating project, running the project, everything will be very simple when we use the IDE STS. Once the download is completed, just to go to the folder where it has been downloaded for us. Just go to the folder. It is taking some small time to download. Once the total download is complete, open this file in the folder. Right. So open this file in the folder. So this is the file which has been downloaded for us. Just right click on this Spring Tool Suite and extract to a folder. You can see here, you can make use of WinRAR software to extract to a folder. So I'm extracting to a folder here. So it's going to create a folder Spring Tool Suite with the version 4.4.25. Once the extraction is done, once we open this folder, we can find Spring Tool Suite application. So it's under process. Right, it is extracting our zip file. So it's going to take some small time as the size is big. So once the extraction is completed, just the folder will be created. In this folder, we can find the application Spring Tool Suite application. That application, we can make it as a shortcut on our desktop, like Eclipse, similar to Eclipse only it looks similar to Eclipse. And how we work in Eclipse, how to create projects in Eclipse, similar way, we can even create Java projects in Spring Tool Suite also. But using Spring Tool Suite, maximum we go with Spring Boot projects. We create projects using STS IDE. So whenever we are developing Spring Boot applications, it is always suggested to make use of Spring Tool Suite IDE to create Spring Boot projects. The reason is adding dependencies to the project will be much more easier by using STS IDE. So some more time to process this. Hardly 1 more minute it's going to take to complete this process. Some more small time. So once it is done, once the folder is created, once you extract the zip file in this folder, you can find a folder STS 4.25 version, and here you can see Spring Tool Suite 4 version application. This we have to make it as a shortcut on desktop. Right click and say send it to show more option, send it to desktop as a shortcut. So here on your desktop you can see this application, Spring Tool Suite application. Now run this application. Then here it is going to ask you select a directory as a workspace. You can choose any directory as a workspace. Just I'm going as it is. In C drive, some folder here. Just say launch. Just say launch here. You can choose any workspace to work. There. So similar to Eclipse only it looks. Now let us create one Spring Boot project here. How to create a Spring Boot project? Just go to this file and say new, and you can see at the top Spring Starter project. Here you can see Spring Starter project. Then here we have to provide the name of the project. I'm going with the Spring Boot project. Then type Maven. Java version, you can choose Java version, the latest 122. And the group, you can say Spring Boot. Artifact, it takes the name. It takes the name Spring Boot project. And package. Package means where you want to store your .java files. I'm saying com.spring.boot. Then click on next button. Here we need to add the project dependencies. So whichever the dependencies what you require for your project, you can add that dependencies over here. Like if you require Spring Web, you can add Spring Web. If you want to make use of Spring JDBC, you can add Spring JDBC. Sorry, JDBC API. If you want to connect to MySQL database, you can add here MySQL driver like this. So whichever the dependencies we want, just you can add it over here. For example, if I want to go with Spring Data JPA, we can use Spring Data JPA like this. Spring Data JPA, which dependencies we require, just you can add it in available, and you can just click on this finish button. Then the project will get created. The project will get created, and if you expand this project, you can see in pym.xml file. In pym.xml file, you can see the Spring dependencies got added here. The project dependencies got added here. See here, Spring Boot Starter Data JPA, Spring Boot Starter JDBC, Spring Boot Starter Web, MySQL connector like this. So this we call it as Spring Boot Starters dependencies. So these all dependencies will get added into the project when we just make a check mark in available while creating the project. So creating Spring Boot project is very easy by using Spring Tool Suite. Now in this one, under src main Java, you can see the package com.spring.boot, and here you can see Spring Boot project application. This is the entry point for your Spring Boot project, which is annotated by using this annotation @ Spring Boot application. So this is the entry point to run a Spring Boot project. Now to run this project, simple, just right click on your project and say run as Spring Boot app. Run as Spring Boot app. So there is some error. So it's not working with this release 2. So let us change the build path. Let us edit this. Let me go with the execution environment as 17. Let me just choose here Java SE17 finish and say apply and close. Now let us run the project. Right click and say run as Spring Boot app. Run as Spring Boot app. So here it is going to starting, right? The project has been started, and this is the one which you can see banner, the Spring Boot banner here, right? So it's a simple project, Spring Boot project created by using the IDE STS IDE, right? So that's about in this video about Spring Tool Suite, how to download and install. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you.